Hi, my name is Christine and welcome to Yoga Studio. I'm going to talk to you about sitting on your chair at home in your new home office. So for many of us, our new home office is probably the kitchen table and a kitchen chair, which is really not ideal long term. It's fine if you're just doing a couple of emails or maybe an hour or two here a week, but if you've moved your working week to your house but you don't have the same setup that you've got at home, then you might find that you're beginning to have pains in the back, tightness in the shoulders, and other things going on in the body as well. Our movement breaks are really, really important, but so is our setup when we're sitting on our chair at home. So if you are using a kitchen chair at home, I'm just going to show you some really simple ways that you can prop yourself up and be a little bit more comfortable when you're working in your desk, or at your desk I should say. So I've got just a regular chair here. So this is like a fold-up chair from IKEA, and it's really light, but your kitchen chair might be a little bit more sturdy than this. For the majority of chairs that we're using, they're going to be hard. So if you fold up a blanket and place it down, then this will create a little cushion for you to sit on. And then I'm going to use a cushion for the back. So without this support on the chair, I could be sitting in a spinal flexion, which is when my spine is rounded and I'm folded forward. So spinal flexion gets a lot of bad rap, and a lot of people giving out about spinal flexion all of the time. It's actually a natural way that our spine goes, but we don't want to be sitting in a spinal flexion for long periods of time. In particular, like 8 hours of the day, you don't want to be sitting like this. So in spinal flexion, we're stretching from the back of the neck all the way down towards the sitting bones. And what's happening here is the shoulders are folding forwards, we're caving in here in the front of the body, and we're restricting the way that we're breathing. So look what happens when I place the support on the chair, cushion on, and then the little pillow behind, and I sit up a little bit taller. So now I've got that lumbar support, and I've got the softness underneath so that my sitting bones and my bum really aren't getting tired from long periods of sitting. The next thing that you can do to make yourself more comfortable is to raise the feet up. So in work, a lot of us will have like a little box that you can put the feet up, or there might be a bar underneath your desk to put your feet on. This obviously isn't available at home, so I recommend that you just take a couple of books and place them underneath the feet. They don't have to be any particular size. I'm using 2 or 3 books here. Place them underneath. Oops, my cushion's falling out. Place them underneath the feet, and straight away I'm in a much happier position here to begin my day's work. We're looking here this morning, or today I should say, to mobilize the spine. So mobilizing the spine means to move the bones of the spine, and all of the bones of the spine are stacked up one on top of each other. They've got like a lot of ability to move, but for the majority of us, when we're sitting in the desks or at the seats all day and we're in that spinal flexion, parts of our spine can feel like they're stuck, and then the muscles around the spine can start to give out, and this is when we begin to feel spinal tension. So the yoga poses and the movements that I'm going to show you are going to help to mobilize the spine. But one of the most important tools that you can use for spinal mobilization, and everybody has this tool, is your breath. So if you start to use your breath, you'll find that the spine will start to elongate, you'll create space in the body, and this in itself will straight away begin to relieve some of the tension that's going on. So to begin with, start sitting in your new chair with your books underneath your feet. Just readjust myself. You can rest the hands down onto the legs and close the eyes for a few moments. And just noticing the breath as it flows in and out of the body. So each time you breathe in, can you imagine creating space between each one of those vertebrae? Sitting up just a little bit taller. Bringing awareness down to the low belly. So draw the low belly back towards the spine. Really just knowing when you're breathing in and knowing when you're breathing out. Just taking these few moments to focus on your breath during the day can make a huge difference to how the muscles of your back and your spine are feeling. Allow the shoulders to rest away from the ears. See if you can just allow your whole body to be heavy into the seat. Leaning into that support at the back of the chair. Allowing your feet to be held by the support underneath them. You're starting to focus on the belly. As you breathe in, can you let the belly fill up with air and expand? As you breathe out, draw the belly back towards the spine. Breathing in, let the belly expand. And breathe out, the belly draws inwards, creating a connection with your abdominal muscles. And then notice the area around your rib cage. Breathing in, feel the front of the ribs expanding and also the back of the ribs. So it's a three-dimensional breath. Breathing in, the body expands. Breathing out, the body contracts. And see, can you breathe into the chest? Feel the chest rising and falling. Notice if you're breathing in and out through the nose or the mouth. And you close the mouth gently and just breathe in and out through the nose. With each exhale, softening the shoulders, softening the face. And then when you're ready, bringing your awareness back, you can blink the eyes open if they were closed. And just notice how the body is feeling after that really short, easy breathing exercise. So you can continue to breathe like this while you're doing your desk exercises. And the first one I suggest doing is neck circles. So I always think about moving each bone of the body one at a time. And when I'm teaching all of my yoga classes, this is kind of the format that I use. I always think, will I start with the head or will I start with the toes? It's entirely up to yourself. But really what you want to focus on is finding your range of motion in each joint and trying to lubricate the joint by moving it. And then in turn, the muscles around that joint will hopefully start to get a bit of movement. They'll warm up and then they'll relax. So this can help to relieve any tension. So beginning with the crown of the head, you can bring in neck circles. I like to breathe in as the head goes back and breathe out as the head comes forwards. So you can do this for as long as you like, just allowing any tension in the neck to dissolve away. And then the next time the chin comes to the chest, pause and circle back the other direction. And then as you breathe in, bringing the head back into center, stacking the head on top of the shoulders. Then bring the attention to the shoulders, so rolling the shoulders up to the ears and down the back. So a few nice big circles with the shoulders, go one way and then go the other way. And then bringing the fingertips onto the shoulders, circle out the elbows. So again, this is a shoulder movement. And for some of us, you might feel that this is an area where you're going to feel tightness. So it's really important that we really breathe into those areas. And then pause and go back the other direction. And then releasing the fingertips. Reach the hands up overhead, stretching the fingers towards the ceiling. And then see, can you relax the shoulders? So you might widen the arms a little bit now and then start to circle out the wrists. Going one way and then going the other way. And then take the arms out to the sides and you can bring the hands behind the back. So you might hold onto opposite wrists here, or you might be interlacing the fingers, and you can use the chair to help you. And then start to send your chest forwards and gaze upwards. So now we're in a spinal extension. So this is the opposite to flexion when we were rounded forwards. And this is a really important tool that you can use to stretch out the front of the chest. So if you've been on your phone all day, you've been on Netflix, your pad, watching TV, or you're sitting at your desk and you're typing all day, then do this a couple of times a day. Draw the shoulder blades together. Keep working the belly muscles, so don't let the belly hang out even though we're stretching it. And if you'd like to go a little bit deeper, you might lift the chin gently, stretching the front of the throat. Bringing the head back into center in your own time, and then release the hands. And then notice the wrists, so they might feel a little bit stiff after that, and then give the shoulders another roll out. Now we're thinking about twisting the spine. So we've done that, we've talked about the flexion, I should say. We haven't actually done any flexion yet, and we've done the extension. So now we're working on twisting. So thinking about keeping the legs facing forwards, the spine is long, draw the belly in. And then take one hand behind the chair, the other hand comes over onto the opposite thigh, and you simply twist and look over the shoulder. Taking a few long deep breaths here. Now notice if the shoulders start to creep up, can you relax them down as you move into that twist? And then breathe in, bring yourself back to center, and take the other side exactly the same. You can go as deep as you want here, so it might be a really gentle twist, or you might be needing that deep twist. And then breathe in, bring yourself back into center and release. And as I said before about the movement breaks, it's really important that we're getting up and that we're moving about during the day. So when you're ready, get up off the chair, move everything out of the way, and you can still have your chair here in front of you. So from here, taking the hands onto the hips, give the hips a few circles out, go one way and then go the other way. And then relax the arms down by the sides. Now make sure you've got enough space for this movement. We're working to mobilize the thoracic spine. So this is the area here between the shoulder blades. A lot of people complaining that this is where they're feeling the tightness. I absolutely love this movement, and it just really starts to wake you up, gets the blood pumping, gets the breath right down into the bottom of the lungs. If you're feeling sluggish at your desk and you're like, I can do no more, get up and do this movement. I promise it's going to change your day. Arms are down by the sides, knees stay soft, so we don't want to lock the joints out here at any point. Grounding down through the feet, arms are heavy by the sides. Breathing in, and as you breathe out, start to twist. Exhale each time that you twist. So you can start to bring in a pumping, rhythmical breath. So by that I mean just focusing on the exhale, and it's almost like each time you twist, you're pressing the breath out of your body. You might be able to hear this breath. So you can do that for 30 seconds, for a couple of minutes, whatever works for you. Keep on going with it. Let the breath speed up, go as fast as you want to go or as slow as you want to go. And then when you're finished twisting, bring yourself back into center. Let the arms rest down by the sides, and then close your eyes for a few minutes and just observe those sensations throughout the body. So I find that's a really useful tool to just give you a new shot of energy into the body. And then turning around towards our chair, so the legs might feel a little bit tight. Bending into the knees, take the hands down onto the seat of the chair, and then walk the feet back, holding on. So I'm holding onto the sides here, and then start to pedal the legs, so one leg at a time. You can even rock the hips from side to side here a little bit, just get some movement into the body. And then come back into center, and then you can walk the feet back a little bit more if you like, and allow yourself to fold right down. So the knees might still be bent or soft here, depending on what's going on in the backs of the legs. You might be a little bit closer to the chair. Forearms can come down, and you can rest down into a forward fold. Sorry, my mic is right in my face. So holding here for as long as you like, and then breathe in to bring yourself all the way back up. Coming up to stand, reach the arms up, take a full body stretch, circle out the wrists, one way and then the other. Really nice. And then take the hands together, so it's like a Charlie's Angels gun. Cross the thumbs, point the first fingers towards the ceiling, and then imagine that you're drawing the tailbone down towards the floor. Stay strong through the belly, reaching up. On your exhale, leaning over to one side. Breathe into center and breathe out, lean to the other side. So you can go like this with your breath, breathing into center and breathing out. So this is lateral spinal flexion, and this is our side to side spinal movement. So I did mention there were 6 movements of the spine. This is 2, right side and left side. And the flexion and extension were our other 2, and our twisting, going one way and going the other way, were the last 2. So that's our 6 movements. And then gently bring yourself back into center, roll out the shoulders again, shake out the wrists. Really nice. So not forgetting about the backs of the legs. You can turn your chair around, holding onto the back of the chair, step 1 foot back, and then bend the front knee. So you can widen the stance here a little bit, holding for a breath or 2. And then changing legs, other foot comes forwards, step it back. And then gently bring yourself back into center. So I'm coming back onto the chair now. So these exercises can be done really quickly. You don't even have to spend as long as I am on them. Sitting yourself down onto the chair and working to stretch out the outside of the hip. So bending up one knee, and it's like you're crossing the ankle over the opposite thigh. And you might feel this feels like enough. For a lot of people, the knee is going to be further up like this. We're encouraging the thigh bone to come down and then to flex the foot that's crossed over, and then sit up nice and tall. You might be staying here, this might feel like plenty, or you might begin to fold yourself down over the leg. So just coming to the place that feels right for your body. For some people, they're going to allow the hands to dangle down and fold over. That's a lot more intense. Or you might stay more upright. We're really working to be mindful of that right knee. If there's injury or anything going on, this might not be the stretch for you. And then breathe in to unfold, come back up. And you can come into another spinal twist from here, keeping the legs where they are. You might twist to one side, take a breath or 2, and then twist to the other side. Take a breath or 2, and then come back into center and do the other leg. You might find one leg is different to the other. That's absolutely fine. So we're crossing the leg over. So my ankle is here on my the front of my thigh, so on the muscles at the front of my thigh, they're my quadriceps. It's not directly on the knee joint, and the bony part of the ankle is almost at the side of my leg, so it's not sticking into my thigh either. And then I'm working here to draw that thigh down. So I'm gently pressing on the thigh bone, not the knee joint either. So we're always protecting the joints. A gentle flex of the left foot here. I've got the option to stay here, or I might start to fold forwards with a long spine. Oh, you're gonna know when you can feel this. Your hip is going to tell you. And at some point you might take the hands down, folding down, or maybe not. See what happens. And then use an inhale to bring yourself back up. You can take that twist either side again. One side, and then the other side, and then back into center and release the foot back down. So from here, coming into spinal flexion. So we were talking about that spinal flexion. I was saying it gets a really bad rap because people are typing and they're folded over, but actually it's one of the movements of our spine, and it's really good, and it helps to keep our spine healthy. So I've got my feet wider than hip width apart. My toes are a little bit turned out. Breathing in, and as I breathe out, I'm folding down. So you might stay here with the elbows on the knees and allow your spine to round. So it's like you're bringing your chin into your chest. For some of us, this is a good place to stay, or you might release the hands down and dangle down between the legs. Taking a few breaths here. And then breathe in, bring yourself all the way back up and release. So I hope that everybody will give the exercises a little try. I have got some classes going on at the moment that I've recorded, and there was one that I did this morning that actually had a lot of those exercises in it. So you can check them out if you like. If anybody wants to download it, just send me an email and I'll send it to you. It's a gentle yoga practice. So give the exercises a go. Let me know how you get on, and I hope everybody has a great day. And well done to everybody who's still working and working from home, and especially to the people who are still in their offices, that are on the front line, the really important staff that are there in the civil service, in the Gardaí, in the hospitals that are working to keep us all safe and well. I want to thank you all very much, and I hope this video will help you in your day to day. Namaste.